20 black Suburbans, we pull up like Sunday service. I just want a one-on-one, don't know why she's so nervous.
All right. What's up, you guys? Your girl G here. Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to come and give a quick little review / recap of what episode. I think this is episode 3 now when it comes to Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. You know, we're just not getting into the thing. Dorit done, decided to bust a move ever since her job / her lifestyle was on the line. She said she gonna get into Kyle's ears one way or another this season. So yeah, I'm not really able to record by my window. If you haven't noticed, obviously this will be an audio recap, but your girl's power is out. So yeah, can't do nothing with that. So instead of getting behind, I would rather just release it like this, and y'all just gonna be happy that the fact that we able to sit down and talk about the mess. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. If you are new to your girl's channel, hey, you know what to do. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. It does your girl wonders in the algorithm. Okay. Really, why are you trying to message me now? Sorry if y'all heard that notification. All right, let's not waste our time. Let's get into it. So we open up the episode with Kathy rolling around in her old behind vintage. When stuff is old, they like to call it vintage. So she going around giving all the girls their basically like their trip invitations. And so, since Kathy's an old rich white woman, all she got to do is ride around all day with her assistant and do nothing with her life. And so she goes to drop off, the suitcase over there by Bo's, and she sees Bo's house, and she's like, you just gonna stay in there? Because Kathy was just at the door, and I was like, I think she's waiting for you to invite her in, because I think Bo's just looked at her sitting there, because white people, they just go ahead and walk up in people's houses. They open the door and they walk in, especially in communities like that. Like, but I think Kathy knew better than to just walk up in Bo's house like that. But nonetheless, Bo's, lets Kathy in. She gets invited. And so Bo, she was just like, so where am I supposed to put my stuff at though? So then she goes to Garcelle after that. It was like every time Kathy was turning the wheel on that car, I swear I was just waiting for it to just go buckle and just go and just put out. So they go over there by Garcelle to find out that her son, I think his name is Jay, the one that's deciding to model. He's kind of the quiet one. And she was obviously seeing this as a thing that could potentially get him out of his comfort zone. And a lot of times when you do have like shy kids doing things like modeling, acting, or just like putting them in certain activities can really, push them out of their comfort zone in a good way. And so from the pictures he was taking, I'm glad, we weren't seeing generic pictures out of, the shots that they were showing us. It wasn't giving, JCPenney's campaign. It wasn't giving, Fashion Nova for Men. It like they were choosing really good editorial looking styles, because that's where the real money is at, editorial, campaign catalogs, that's the money. It was, where the money reside, okay? So I really hope that works out for him, works out for Garcelle's son. She gets the invitation by Kathy, find out where they're going. Then Kathy goes over there by Erica. Y'all, we see Erica got her little new whip, okay? She got a ride pull up, and every time, it's like, I don't want to be counting Erica's money, but it's like every time I see she buys something, it's like, bitch, do you got the money? Like, are you sure you got it? Like, I'm supposed to know what's in her bank account. Like, I'm guessing, Erica's doing good. She's doing better. Obviously, if your spending is less, she's, just as much as she's lost money, she's also downsized. So it's like, she could be having a benefit of what, some other people don't, where although you got a big budget, if you spending it all up, like, do you really got money left like that to spend? And so, yeah, Erica got her little new whip, y'all. So we'll see how it plays out. Her money look like it's doing good. Okay, money looking, getting back to long and strong. Okay. So then I was laughing because the ducks were in the back, and she was like, "Is this my life?" And then so Kathy makes it over to Dorit's house, and boy, I tell you, Dorit love a good Levi jean. Okay, she look like she belong in a whole ass Gap campaign. Pretty much 40-50% of the time I see her. So yeah, Kathy comes in, gives her the invitation. Dorit reads it, sees where they're going, and we see her and PK's daughter. She's giving what, 8 or 9 years old. I think that's what we saw, if I'm not mistaken. So this is really going to play into how Dorit and PK handle their situation later on. But yeah, everybody got their invitations, and Kathy makes it over to Kyle's house last with everybody. And so obviously we got to get into talking about her and Mauricio. So Kathy makes it to Kyle's house last, and Kyle and her basically are just sitting down discussing what could potentially happen with this girls' trip. Kathy is really kind of feeling like the reason Kyle and Dorit are really kind of going at each other is partly because both of them are going through divorces right now, so there's a lot of emotions going on. Kathy also feels like when that whole BravoCon situation happened, because Kyle is determined to make fetch happen when it comes to that. It was all BravoCon when joked that Kathy was first and I was last. We all know that was a whole bunch of bull. But Kathy was saying like, she was hypersensitive at that time because so much was going on. Even if that is partly true, there still needs to be validity to why you are upset, have an organic reason why you are holding this pain that you have over Dorit's head. But what I tell you, I'm telling y'all, they is on Kyle's ears this season, because the flashbacks is real. They have all the proof when it comes to Dorit and all the accusations that she has of like all the reasons why she knows Kyle is upset at her, versus Kyle. They got all the reasons that Kyle keeps making up as to why she's upset at Dorit. Like, it's too many reasons why you upset, and you want to give like the superficial excuses versus like the real ones that you're pissed off about, which later on we find out really was she was upset about that text message being read at the reunion, as well as her siding with Kathy at last year's reunion, and with Erica when it came to that whole Kathy situation out there in the snow in Colorado. So yeah, we are just having to wait and see how they act around each other. So it's the day of, everybody's getting together, getting ready to go on the trip. They're all meeting up, I'm assuming at Kathy's house, and they all walk in, and Kyle comes in with her Birkin, and her extra wallets and card holders. Basically was holding damn near $80,000 on one wrist, okay? And then Miss Jennifer Tilly comes in, and she has this Louis Vuitton, okay? She has this, I hope I can find a picture and I might be able to post it here, but it was shaped like a boat. So Erica was like, "Oh, these aren't just pieces. Like, this is art. This is architect." And Erica was her confessional, just looking so tortured and just so depressed, because in the back of her mind, she just sitting there remembering all the lavish, lifestyle that she used to have when she was with Tom, and he was stealing money from burn victims. Erica used to be able to live that high life, but now she can only be a voyeur at this moment, as Jennifer Tilly with her little cuckoo self walks in with all the expensive tings on her arm, okay? So they all leave. They get in the little sprint car. On the way, they start playing like cute little games. They're like playing a drinky game of like, okay, who was the most famous actor you dated? And Garcelle, of course, being in the 90s, she had Will Smith, Eddie Murphy, Sean Penn. The white girls heard Sean Penn and damn near choked on they esophagus, okay? So yeah, that was funny. Jennifer Tilly was like, "Have you ever had sex with a small one or a crooked one?" I'm loving Jennifer Tilly as an addition, as a friend on the show, because I personally like, kooky characters. That's why I'm a fan of Sutton. Like, if you're odd, a little bit weird, like I just love that. It just gives like a good like break to the scene to have somebody who just batshit crazy in the middle of it. So I'm loving Jennifer Tilly as an add-on. But yeah, so they all get to the house and we'll see what's next. So Kathy gets the girls on the beach, y'all. She brought them over to Oceanside. I think that's what it's called. And Kyle was laughing. She was like, only Kathy would bring her whole damn living room and put it on the beach. And it looked nice. It was, it was giving real bougie glamping. A lot of people be doing like those lantern dinners on the beach. It was real classy based. And so they all sit down eating and everything. And Kathy basically has them playing games. So they're doing like duck duck goose, and they're having to do a relay. Dorit face planted twice. Okay, Dorit, don't wear them pants again because you kept literally tripping on them and busting all your face in the sand. Obviously right now it's a little awkward between Dorit and Kyle. Obviously they know how to maintain being cordial with each other, still being in the same room and things like that. Garcelle does the same thing too in regards to Dorit as well, because we know that they don't really F with each other, but being cordial because bitch, it's money on the line. Okay. Okay, we ain't trying to know. We gonna keep acting with each other, okay, before I lose my damn check from Bravo. Before that, y'all, I totally forgot. Let's get into Mauricio going over to Kyle's, y'all. So Mauricio goes over to Kyle's because it's now Kyle's house, it seems, because he's moved out. Mauricio has got a spot, y'all. Now, this is where I'm thinking that something is going on in regards to the conversation that Mauricio and Kyle have had with each other in regards to their split/separation, because Kyle in the confessional was like, he told me he was going to get like a 6-month rental, and after 6 months, we'll just talk with each other. I feel like these two wanted a little bit of a break, a little bit of a switch up. They've been together for damn near, 30 years. I kind of feel like they really kind of announced the separation just off of the strength of, both of them potentially being pictured out with other people. And you already know if they were pictured out with other people, it would have been, cheating rumors galore. So I think, to settle that, if we gonna go out there and be separated and kind of live on our own for 6 months, I don't know, maybe try to figure out our new selves or whatever, see if we'll grow back together. I think that's what the initial plan was. Hell, even for Dorit. But Mauricio and PK done got together for one trip, went out, and ever since they got back, they clearly are on the same page. Cause tell me why PK got a place just literally the same time as Mauricio. It feels like Dorit finding out that PK and then got a whole new apartment out of the Beverly Hills hotel, because that's where he was staying. But PK rented a spot that came with furniture. Kyle found out that Mauricio, he ended up straight up buying furniture. And so she's like, that's kind of feeling like a little more, that when you buy furniture, that's a little more personal. Like you pick that out and everything like that. That seems more like a long-term investment, So he's walking through the house and Kyle's showing him all the changes she's made, painted the bathroom. She's like, you see, and she was like, do you not like it or whatever? He's like, no, I like it. It's cool. It's very obvious she was looking for some type of emotional response from Mauricio, just to like show some type of disdain or aggravation in things changing around the house, to see if for her it would have gave her some type of inclination that he missed, the familiar home. But is it always going to be the family home, the familial home? Yes, but at this moment, Kyle, y'all's daughters, y'all literally only got one kid left. She's 16 years old. She finna be out the house, and that's why Kyle is struggling right now. She's literally like, my no longer full-time mom, without being a wife. Like, what do I do? Like, like, who am I, basically, essentially? And a lot of women go through that the minute After they have a kid, there's a who am I moment. After, you divorced, there's a who am I moment. After, your kids, get out the house and you are an empty nester, there's like a who am I moment. You're constantly in this changing, but it's always in changing and taking care of other people. And so now that Mauricio, he at the house, Kyle's like, you want to take the dog Romeo? He was like, nah. And then she was like sitting there saying like, oh man, you got no responsibilities. And the way Mauricio hit her with the was just laughing. She was like, huh. And then they sit down. And so she was like, yeah, me. And I guess her name was Maria was like their housekeeper or something. She was like, yeah, she saw that I painted stuff and changed around, and she started crying. And Mauricio said, oh. And then she was like, yeah, because she was crying, I started crying. Mauricio goes, oh, again. Oh my God. Y'all know what I thought of? I don't know if y'all know, but I tried to find it, but I cannot. But there's this like white boy and he goes, oh, he starts laughing. He's like, oh, and just kind of like I'm trying to pout for you, but I really don't give a damn. Like, oh, this is so sad for you, buddy. Like, in that moment, it was giving real. Mauricio, he was 1 foot out the door. It's giving that door is on its way to being shut, Kyle. I really think Kyle thinks that this is just going to be a little 6 month spat. They'll get it together. I know Kyle's got to be struggling because at the end of the day, she knows she got a finance man that every woman would have no problems, hopping on doing the full split. Okay, Mauricio is still looking good. Now PK is single. They both about to be out on they hoe stroll. They about to be hitting the town, painting the town red. Okay, and Kyle over here just so depressed. I think a lot of it too got to do with the fact that Morgan situation. I feel like she kind of hopped out too fast with that Morgan situation. I'm thinking in her mind that's where she's feeling like, maybe I shouldn't have did that, because a part of me feels like she did it to get back at Mauricio low key. But I feel like she thought she could commit to the lesbian lifestyle, but I think she psyched herself out. She would talk about, the public can make you question, your sexuality. Nah, girl, you was already questioning your sexuality. We just had questions since you brought old girls to the screen. If you gonna bring, Miss Lesbianis to the front, then let's bring her to the front. Then let's call her to the front and get some, some details on this. Okay, that's all we was wondering. Because you was flying her around, all right? So, yeah, Kyle, you having this habit of, projecting your issues and your thoughts on everybody else. And that's why Dorit's on your head top this season, because she's not finna take it no more. So after, Mauricio goes over there to visit Kyle, and his, his sorry, not sorry, act, you can really tell Kyle was just looking for some type of emotional response from this man. But now she's hearing, like, you got a place? He's like, yeah, you should come by. He's laughing and real lighthearted. You could tell he definitely was making an effort to make sure there was a distinction of like putting a wall up between the two of them. It don't take a rocket scientist to know that Mauricio is over there slinging dick, okay, at that bachelor's pad. Only got 8 towels, but it don't mean no never mind to him. So yeah, now back to the trip. All the ladies are getting back together. They're meeting up after going to the beach, and there was a little moment where Dorit was talking to Erica in the bathroom, and she was like, see, Erica, like, there's an elephant in the room. She's like, what? Wait, me? She was like, no. Then she started talking about the earrings. The earrings were cute, though. But they sit down at the table, and Kyle does a cheers. The place that they sat was very nice looking. And they did the cheers, and Kyle's cheers was basically kind of like, thank you, Kathy, for putting this on, for us, enjoying each other's time. I haven't laughed like this in a long time, appreciate it. And they, clink, clink, cheers, cheers. And, one of the things I forgot also too, what happened at the beach was the fact that Bose and Dorit were kind of at the end of the table, really just having their own separate conversation. When it's a long table, what tends to happen is, people are kind of like separated into different parts of the conversation. So with Dorit and Bose on one end, they're having conversations about PK and Dorit and her situation. Then on the other end, you have Erica, Garcelle, Kyle, and Garcelle over there being nosy. Okay, nosy boots. Now Garcelle, I'm gonna have you know that yeah, I'm looking at you with my eyebrows up when it comes to this season. I don't want you starting no unnecessary bullshit with Dorit because you ain't got nothing going on. At least make it seem organic, Miss Garcelle, because this idea of, oh well, let us get to know Bose, like, oh, like you're like upset at her for speaking with Bose. Like, it's not like she could just be stealing her away from y'all. Like, y'all could have your own personal time with Bose. Like, invite her over to your house. Like, Dorit, with Garcelle, like, I didn't like this idea that she was just like, oh, she feels so comfortable as to tell Bose everything, and she's new, but like, we've all known each other longer than that. And it's like, but Garcelle, you and Dorit don't even get along. Why the fuck would she tell you something if y'all don't get along? Like, that's all just in my head. Like, Garcelle, don't do this. Don't start doing this, okay? Because then you're going to have me giving you the resting bitch face, and I don't want to do that, Garcelle. I really, really don't. So, they kind of take that into the dinner later on that night. So, yeah, back to the dinner. They're all sitting down, and one of the things that Garcelle said, like, she was in the bathroom, I think, with Sutton and Tilly, if I'm not mistaken, basically talking about like, oh, you see Dorit like talking down there, like, she basically was just kind of like, Dorit was just kind of, Garcelle was kind of like, do you feel like, you're getting to know Bose, or like, you feel like she was just like separating herself from everybody. And I was like, oh, Garcelle, don't do this, girl, because it's going to backfire. And it's kind of looking like it is on Twitter. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give you a heads up, child. But yeah, everybody's sitting back at the table, and Dorit finally, gets into it. She was like, Kyle, there's obviously an elephant in the room. And Kathy trying to make a joke. Where's the elephant? And everybody just kind of chuckled. But Sutton said it best in the confessional. She's like, have you seen elephants when they get angry? If you watch National Geographics, angry elephants is not the ones to quit, okay? If you've seen it, you know how it gets. It's quite dangerous, all right? So, sorry, y'all, if you hear my notifications going off. Trying to buy something. So Dorit basically was like, look, Kyle, I know there's an elephant in the room, and we really should get to it. So Dorit basically starts bringing up, potentially what the issue is. She's like, you keep telling me, it's BravoCon, then it's, it's the text message, and all of it just doesn't make any sense, Kyle. And finally, Kyle kind of breaks down where it started with the whole Teddy situation. Now, I've been watching Beverly Hills for a little bit, so I do know what it was like when Dorit was here. Kyle and Teddy, they kind of were a little bit of a triage, and Dorit, I'll give a little bit of leeway to Kyle on this one because she is telling some truths here, in my opinion. It equating to why she treated you the way she treated you, that is up for discussion, okay? So, yeah, no, those y'all dropped on the comments, and if y'all feel like Dorit tried to kind of distance herself from Teddy after seeing, how the viewers were reacting to her. I definitely did see that. I'm not gonna lie, I definitely did see that. I personally I wasn't on the like hate Teddy Mellencamp train. I really wasn't. I actually kind of enjoyed Teddy a little bit. So I'm trying to remember what necessarily she did back then that pissed everybody off. I can't remember. But nonetheless, that's one of the umpteenth reasons that Kyle is mad at her. Then, like I said, it's the text message. She felt some type of way about Dorit showing the text message, but it's like that you didn't know that happened until after the reunion aired. So you had already had issues with Dorit and weren't talking to her. So like you see how Dorit's feeling like, girl, it's just a whole bunch of bullshit that's not lining up. Like, it's not making any sense. Then what killed me is Dorit trying to be slick, adding Erica to it. She was like, "You're upset at me about the text message." Even Erica felt like it didn't seem like a real reason why you were upset at me. The way Erica's face was looking like, my name Bennett, I ain't in it.
Now why am I in it?
And you could have did
Now
it.
see how I get wrong and
because you never
I ain't even did
apologized.
nothing.
Man, I tell you, Erica was like, "Don't you bring that shit over here, Dorit." So yeah, Dorit was just going in on Kyle of just like, if we're really gonna move on, then we need to start having real talk about real issues. Because Dorit, they showed the flashbacks. Dorit got very much every ample reason to be upset. Kyle, you have some reasons, to say that your feelings are hurt, but you don't want to start, at A. We need to go in order, because two truths can exist at the same time, but we gonna sit here being fair and who needs to apologize first, and bitch is giving you for real. So now Kyle's like, Dorit, like, God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, like, stop talking. And Dorit was like, no, Kyle. She's like, you need to listen. She's like, no, Kyle, you're gonna listen. And when she said that, everybody else's face, you could tell, was like, ooh, like, who is this Dorit? Like, like, here we go. Here we go. Now, Kyle, it's time for you to listen. Because Dorit done had enough. She said, you're not going to keep gaslighting me, ho. Like, I know what's going on. And then the whole situation with Morgan, you leaned onto Morgan when the whole divorce, everything was happening like that. So, Dorit does feel a little, disposed of, but then you can pick me back up when we're filming or something like that. Kyle, you definitely have some rectifying that you need to do. And you're not going to get good feedback if you keep acting like you have nothing to apologize for, because you really, really do. But yeah, you guys, y'all tell me what you think down in the comments. Y'all feel like Kyle is just making up stuff to be mad at Dorit because Dorit is finally speaking her feelings. You can see on Kyle's face when Dorit just be going off, like, she's looking at her like, who are you? Like, you're not even the person I know. Like, who is this person? Like, Dorit had to let her know. Bitch, I had to clock in. It's time to clock that T. Clock it. Okay. She had to clock in. Bitch, she got mortgages on the line. She got a house on the line. Okay. She got kids to work for, because PK out here broke. All right. That's really the truth. So, yeah, you might not have no edges by the end of the season, Kyle, but it's okay. There's some wigs, some fancy rich white woman wigs that y'all got, okay? But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll catch y'all hoes later. Deuces.